Whatever you do, I'll be fine with it, Mr. Art Director.
Naked portraits of each other.
Yes.
But keep it artsy. We don't want them to think we're pornography.
Never.
Hello everyone and welcome to Stretch Goal Cast, your podcast for the latest in crowdfunded video games on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Steam Early Access, and, well, whatever we can find online that you might like. My name is Remi Storms.
Hello, I'm Justin Nichols.
Hello, I'm Clinton Ma.
And I am Jared Wuerzburger.
Cool. Well, today's episode, it's a little bit different because we have a couple of projects to discuss, so it's going to be a little bit faster, I guess. So if you guys are okay, we can start with the first project. Everyone's okay?
Yeah, it's been a fun
Let's
week.
do it.
I'm ready to get in there.
Well, the first one is called Algo-Bot. I think the full name is called Algo-Bot Code Smarter, Not Harder. Basically, this project is a, and I quote, award-winning 3D game in which you achieve missions using code logic. So anyway, when we were looking at this game, I thought it was interesting because it looked like a very interesting puzzle, just like that. The graphics are really nice, and what they say in their video is that this game kind of helps you, learn coding and all that. Basically, the way it works is you have to control this robot using like code snippets, if you want to call it. Basically, you have like a timeline and blocks where you put the actions of the robot, and they go in sequence, right? So you can move the robot, pick up objects, move again, and have like functions. I don't know if it makes sense, but in the video it's pretty interesting. So you can tell that these guys have put a lot of effort into the graphic aspects of it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what you guys think.
They've got great names for their Kickstarter tiers.
They do.
Infinite Loop of Gratitude, $5.
Divide by
That's
zero
one heck of
pack.
a good deal.
Unwinding stack exception pack. Yeah, dude.
I personally
Window.
think this is really cool. I'm currently teaching courses in an introductory computer science at Indiana State University, and this kind of stuff. We've got this is for like an information technology based degree program, and everybody that walks through the door, I mean, a pretty decent percentage plays video games. So if I can convince students during their off hours to play a game, which will help them be better at computer science, I think it's a win-win all around.
Yeah, these sort of teaching people how to do things through a game, so people are learning without realizing they're learning. I think that's always a good thing. I'm no education expert myself, but that sort of thing seems to work, and it seems to be a trend that's picking up. The game looks pretty interesting. Kind of reminds me of maybe something like The Incredible Machine, where you just construct things and everything works on its own logic. And I mean, programming itself is sort of like all this object-based stuff where everything is interlinked, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm sort of caught by surprise here because I could have swore there was another Kickstarter maybe 1 or 2 years ago that was just like this, made by maybe one person, and that's one of those Kickstarters that hasn't really panned out. I don't know if you guys know which one I'm talking about. If I had actually done research before this show, I would have the name, but the guy got in some hot water last year, where he had to put up some updates saying, "Oh yeah, sorry, the game's not done yet," and he's making these excuses, and people are getting angry at him. But it was a game about programming or learning how to code. So anyway, I'm good that there's someone else taking another crack at this concept.
That's cool. Yeah, I've definitely heard of concepts like this before. The Double Fine, their Amnesia Fortnite, little like in-house competition that they have, where they just basically take 2 weeks off and everyone splits into teams and works on little prototypes. One of them was called Hack and Slash, and sort of similar to this. I think this is definitely focusing more on like the education and really getting down logic. Hack and Slash was a bit more of just entering little code hacks into the game to help you get through the puzzles. But yeah, this is definitely pretty interesting. Is it going to be 3D? I'm seeing some pictures look like 3D renders.
Yeah, it looks like it's
the
like an
gameplay
award-winning
looks
3D game.
Yeah, it looks like everything is 3D. It was just like a orthographic view of the the area that you're playing.
My guess is that this is kind of like a programmable logic controller in a way that you program a street light based on like sensors in the ground and how much weight that's kind of triggers a car pulling up, kind of triggers a weight sensor, and then the outcome, of course, is the light changing. So I guess we're kind of looking at some of these screenshots we're looking at kind of show the programming itself, and then I think we get to watch him as he does what we program.
Yeah, I think when they say that it might help people learning code and all that, I don't think they actually mean like if you really want to learn to program, of course, go to a course or start reading or start programming. This is, I guess, for the video, it looks more like you can learn like really basic things that you will always use, like a for loop or functions or things like that. Because if you look at it in the in the panel, in the images, you can see how it goes block by block, and then boom, it switches to F1, which is I assume it's like call function 1 or call function 2. So
I think it's like an order of operation, which is what logic is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all an order of operation, and that's kind of what this helps get people's mind around that. But yeah, they definitely say like this will not teach you how to program.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just I think like knowing just basic logic can be helpful in multiple aspects of not just programming, but also other parts of any game development process, or even in like other businesses as well.
I think that this is also important to note that this isn't really for us, because every one of us here has programmed in some sort of syntax, whether it be web programming languages or any programming languages we've come across during our development of the games we've seen. So this is for people who don't even understand the concepts of programming, but still want to have fun and play a game. That's kind of what I think I'm
Sure, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like baby's primer on programming.
That's why Remi likes
light
it
of
so
it.
much.
Okay, so just one
I'm the
thing.
worst programmer out of all of us, so.
So we kickstarting this guy, or are we kicking it to the curb?
Well, look, they got 24 days to go, and they're looking for 60,000, and they've made 3,199. What do you think their chances are? Do you think they're asking for too much?
I don't think they're asking for too much, especially considering that they already have a pretty decent amount of the game done. And if you look at the video as well, they have really interesting, cinematics or pre-rendered scenes. I think they already know what they want to get and what they're gonna spend the money on. So I don't think they're asking for too much, and I think they might just reach their goal. I'm not sure if they will go over that, but I think at least they will reach the 60,000. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah,
One
looks
thing that
good,
was
looks cool.
a little concerning to me in the video, they say like they want to hit 100,000, except their goal is 60,000. So that's like 60% of 100,000, somewhere around that. So I don't know. I'm just worried that like, what is the 60,000 going to get them? Like, why did they say they're aiming for 100,000? I guess like,
I mean, do they
if
have
you
a
look at
stretch goal?
goals, it says Lua language component scripting.
Let's see here.
So yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see. You know, like if they get 60,000, is that going to be enough to really finish everything up?
I think at least the very core of the game. Maybe that's what they mean by the 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the 60,000 is not some lowball figure, where in actuality they think they can complete the game with 100,000. I hope 60,000 is what will get them to the finish line comfortably. So we'll see.
Oh, okay, I see. The Lua code. Okay, so what they want to do is if they reach 100,000 is when you basically whenever you do something like an action in the game, you can almost like it says like take a peek behind the scene, which allows you to actually see like the code of what you're doing. So that way it would be actually a little bit better at learning actual coding and scripting, and yeah, it could help out. That'd be kind of nice because, you know, you could just play the game as they're planning it for 60,000, but then if you wanted to take like one extra step and actually see, okay, what are the actual lines of code that I'm doing? How would this actually be written? Then that's what you'd be able to see, and that would be kind of cool. But yeah, that would apparently take them $40,000 more to input that.
Seems like a lot, but for $10, I might just pledge and guarantee myself a copy of this guy.
I think I'm gonna most definitely. I mean, I noticed there was a $300 license like a university license that allows you to use it as many copies as you'd like. So I'm gonna try to sell that to my department chair. We'll see how that goes. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely funding this guy.
Well, I think the stretch goal is if they reach 300,000, then they'll have free school license. But they have to reach 300,000, which I don't know if they'll get that far.
Well, we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
Another game that we'll see how it does. That was horrible. Is if you haven't been sick of these survival horror games, we've got yet another one for you. There's even more out there that we've yet to cover. In particular, we're going to talk about 7 Days to Die. It's yet another zombie survival game. In this particular game, it's voxel-based. That's one of the things that kind of sets it apart from other games in this genre. It's an open-world, voxel-based sandbox game. It's first-person or third-person based on your style of gameplay. It's actually already been funded on Kickstarter. The reason we're talking about it is because we kind of already, in our first episode, we talked directly about Daisy, and we figured we'd kind of go into more detail about yet another game in the series, and Justin's been dying to tear this thing apart. It was funded several months ago. Looks like on August 15th. It is still on Steam's Easy Access, and this is voxel based, so you can kind of build this the same way you could in Minecraft as far as functionality is concerned. I backed this originally when it was kickstarted. They made quite a bit further than what their initial goal was. Initial goal was 500,000. They pledged what they were looking. Initial goal was 200,000. They ended up getting 500,000. They hit every one of their goals for this game. These additional stretch goals. I've played it. I've kind of enjoyed what I played. I did play the first release that they had put out, the pre-alpha that they launched. I spent maybe 6 hours in the game total. I enjoyed it. It's not too much different from other survival games. I guess it's less serious. It's which I guess you'd expect from a voxel-based game. That doesn't mean that there isn't a level of customization that's allowed. I mean, there's, for instance, when you're in combat, we've got pistols that require ammunition, magazines, and they won't function if you just find a weapon. So it's nowhere near, I don't think, the caliber that DayZ is aiming for as a game. Right, it's using a more realistic game engine. But I still think there's something in there for people, especially fans of voxel-based games. What do you guys think about this?
Well, basically, for what I've seen, I don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like Minecraft meets zombies with better graphics, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's what it is. You're resource hunting. You're destroying objects to get those resources to build up new objects. You craft. There's crafting, and then there's zombies, which I guess really, if we take it apart, isn't much different than what the gameplay of Minecraft already is. Right? At night, we got creepers that come out, and you're kind of, the idea is you're supposed to stay indoors anyway with Minecraft. So especially at night. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I actually love that idea. I mean, you already know I'm a sucker for zombies and horror games and all that. This is not, I don't see this like a horror, but I definitely see myself having a lot of fun with this game. Just because I've enjoyed a lot of Minecraft time, even though, I don't know, sometimes I've been just playing by myself, just, mining, getting resources and all that. And it's pretty fun. And if you add, on top of that, the zombie element, and I assume it has multiplayer, right? So
it does. It's it really does. And now that I know that, Remi, I've got like 4 free copies of this game, so I want to give you one.
Ooh, I like that already.
Because Justin refuses to play.
Really? Well, we know him.
Tell us why. You better unload.
Well, first of all, could you remind us what the name is of these prestigious developers? I forgot the name of them.
It's Zombie Team Squad. No. It's even worse than that, folks.
Better name than that.
It's even worse than that. We're talking about the Fun Pimps.
We pimp the fun and games! Exclamation point. If you go to their
Don't forget about the
website.
exclamation point.
The Fun Pimps, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that name kind of says it all. They're not. This isn't like Jared said. This isn't like DayZ, which is going for a simulation. This is a lighthearted, zombie survival. It kind of seems like kind of Left 4 Dead-esque. But yeah, I guess the voxels. It's kind of like Minecraft as well. Definitely crazier. Yeah, it didn't really grab my attention. It seems like all the female zombies are wearing bras or like really, I don't know, there's a lot of things that just seemed like not, sort of in poor taste, I'd say, a little bit. Like there's sexy nurse zombies and
They are the fun
playable
pimps.
characters is like a sexy farmer girl. I don't know, Seems
Not
like a
into
game you
that.
pick up from a truck stop or, like a gas station.
That's harsh.
No,
I told you he was getting ready. He was getting ready.
Yeah,
but that's just the aesthetics. As far as gameplay, though, I think, they're doing something pretty cool here. It does seem like it'd be fun to build up forts and fight off zombies with friends. From what I've seen of the game, you can definitely get your hands on a lot of items and guns and just start hunting down zombies pretty quickly compared to something like DayZ, where it could take you several hours to even, like find find a gun, and then several more hours to find ammo for it. But I think, this game is going for a fun factor more. That's cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see that they're aiming for a complete different audience. It's not like, they really don't want players to spend, I don't know, 3 hours just trying to find a bullet or something like that. They just want people to get in and have some fun with their friends, like, as quickly as possible, probably. And that's one of the reasons I really enjoy that, because you don't have to just spend, I don't know, 30 hours just to get, yourself ready to start fighting zombies or something.
Yeah, this isn't like a simulation. It's just,
exactly.
Let's have fun killing zombies and building stuff and blowing stuff up.
It's a teamwork game instead of the more lonely approach that DayZ takes to gameplay.
Well, do you need to play team in this game?
I think they leave it open.
Yeah.
You can band up if you want to. And as someone who doesn't really play these games, I feel like this whole trend is rapidly passing me by, since I still have yet to try DayZ. And this game seems like it's taking more cues from something like Dead Island. Like the color palette's more colorful. Just as Justin said, there are zombies in bikinis. And there are bikini zombies in Dead Island as well, so you see that similarity there. So, but yeah, I mean, a game like this, if they go for the more instant gratification and of not getting robbed or handcuffed 2 minutes into my play session, I can at least pick up a gun and just start shooting zombies, which is, I assume, the whole point of these games. That's great. I see some of these screenshots where they actually show actual hordes of zombies coming at you, so that's encouraging for me. If you're going to do a zombie game, at least
have zombies
those undead coming after you.
If you get hit by a zombie, like, can you become infected? How does that work in this game? Or is it like Left 4 Dead, where it's just like you could be surrounded by zombies and then run away and you're just like at half-life?
This game, I played. Now, granted, I only played DayZ for about an hour and a half, but in direct contrast to 6 hours versus the 1 hour I played on DayZ, I kind of felt like that there was way more zombies in this game. And they're way more. The difficulty level's higher because of that insanely high number of zombies. And I mean, as far as to answer your question, as far as taking damage, can you get sick? Is there residual damage? Yeah, but it's nothing more than just a health bar. It doesn't impact your movement. I don't remember. Like you said, it's probably closer to a more arcadey feel. But they're trying to, and this was I played the pre-alpha, which was 7 months ago, and they've done. I get monthly updates about things that they're doing to change the game. So I don't know. I need to put this game back on Steam and give it another go. 6 months later, I had a great time the first time. I played a 4-player match, a private server that we just set up on the fly, and it was fun. I'd like to get 8 people in there. Maybe we'll have to film all of us playing it so we can hear Justin get upset. We'll post it on YouTube.
Yeah, that would be like in a special episode. That would be nice.
As long as I get to be the hot chick.
Agreed. Cool. So what we got up next?
All right. We got next a game called Dusk of D.A.W.N. Now that's Dawn, acronym D.A.W.N. This is a Indiegogo project, and just want to ask you guys, if you like card games. Remi, do you like card games?
I like some card games. They're not like my favorite.
Okay, that's good enough. Do you
This
like
game's
being
for
a
you.
CEO? Do you like to be a CEO
Do I
of
like
your own
it?
company? Yeah.
Well, I don't hate it.
That's good enough for me. So in this game, it's a cyberpunk digital collectible card game, which the whole cyberpunk stuff definitely caught my interest right off the bat, and it's also a battle game in the tradition of something like Magic and all the other recent games that have come out. They are asking for quite a sum of money, 25,000 euros, and they're only at 531, so it hasn't really picked up traction. They do have 36 days left to go, and I myself was curious enough to just throw them a bit of money and ensure that I got into the closed beta, which they'll have later on. You can play alpha version right now that is built in HTML5, and I did try it out a little bit, and I found that the performance is a little bit slow at this point. I was getting like 6 or 7 frames per second, which is rather odd. It's really slow for something that's turn-based, right? So, as you can see on the screen here, it's a lane-based game, and you're just laying down, things like buildings and strategies, and of course units to do the fighting for you. And so you have 4 lanes, but on the vertical, you also have columns that dictate what type of cards you can play in what square. So that's a little bit different from other lane-based games that you may have seen recently, such as SoulForge. And just overall, I love the art that they've done. I love the look of it. I'm a huge fan of cyberpunk. So for me, it was a natural. I have doubts that they'll fund on Indiegogo, and I hope that they can still continue development on this. For now I'm just playing their alpha version, and seems to have potential. Yeah. Thoughts? Anyone?
I really like the art style they're going for, and obviously for a card game, the art style is kind of a big deal, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
on that side, they really got me there. You can tell by the videos and images they have that they put a lot of effort there. I would probably give it a try, even though I'm not super fan of card games, just because it looks clean,
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned some more details. It's free to play. They're saying you don't have to spend any money to get any of the cards in the game. You just have to play a lot, right, to get all the cards. And they do have one unique thing where you get to level up yourself as a character. So you as a CEO can level up, and they have a bit of like a skill tree as you go along. So you can specialize in certain things. So if you want to specialize in aerial combat, you can do that. And then any cards that you play that are like air-based, you might get a bonus for. Or they might be cheaper to play, things like that. Yeah.
Guys, there's a problem.
I like that picture of that monkey.
Oh yeah, let's check that monkey.
What's the problem?
This monkey has been Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
No, I was just saying I've only got one problem, and it was also a joke. But they're only spending 4.7% on sound design.
Wow.
Very disappointed.
Uh-oh. Look at that.
I really want to get that
Crossfit
card
game.
flippy sound.
I know. I mean, it's a card game. I mean, what are you going to do?
But it's also a sci-fi base, so you should put a lot of effort into, like really
True.
interesting sci-fi music, at least for the background, right? It's
Well,
not
you're
just
creating the universe, right?
Yeah,
It's up to
you need like
it's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard of Netrunner, Clinton?
Sorry, I went clicking somewhere else on these windows. Let me get rid of this. Oh, spoiler. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. I have heard of Netrunner. I have played Netrunner.
How
tried to play
similar
at
do you
least.
think this is to Netrunner?
Well, another thing that makes this game cool is that it's a way for me to play Netrunner on the computer, because currently there's no computer version of Android Netrunner, which is the card game that's out from Fantasy Flight Games. It seems to be really popular now. It's based on the old CCG, also called Netrunner. So there's no way to play that on any device. So you have to, do the old-fashioned tabletop way. And I don't think they have any plans to bring that to anything. At least they haven't mentioned it. So this, in a way, is a sort of, way for me to get that experience, although it's a very different game. And just from my small bit of experience with Dusk of Dawn, Netrunner is a far superior game in terms of just like strategy and elegant design and all that sort of stuff. But,
yeah, I like everything that I'm seeing here, so I can't really complain. I do like that although this is a digital card game, right? I like that there's still kind of there's some throwbacks, like they show like a set of booster pack with like the wrapper and everything, and that just like gets my blood. That makes me want to just give them money because they're reminding me of what the experience is to open a pack of trading cards. Anybody else that geeky, or am I the only one that's that geeky?
No, I'm with you, man. I love that stuff.
Is everyone's video kind of lagging right now?
I see that Jared has frozen.
Frozen.
Oh, no, you're back.
Okay.
Because when Clinton was talking, his video was about 2 to 3 seconds behind.
Well, sorry about that, guys.
It must be because of all the amount of fans that we have.
All 2 fans.
Yeah. Oh, we have 2 of them.
Double.
Wow.
Hey, you know what other game has 2 fans?
Good one.
Nice.
Okay.
Are we
Let's move
moving
on to Rain World?
Alrighty,
Yeah, key.
cool. So, Rain World. This is made by, it's on Kickstarter right now, you can find it. It's currently a 2-man team, but they plan on hiring a third. The person who seems like they're the lead on the project is, he describes himself as a Swedish illustrator and graphic designer. So his name, I'm going to try and take a stab at, is Wuerzburger. Maybe that's right. I don't know. Anyways, he's done the programming so far on Rain World, although he definitely does seem like most of his background is in the art side. So I checked out his website. He's got a lot of really cool drawings that I want t-shirts of. And also, if you look under Other, you'll find that he has made a few simple games, kind of almost like prototypes. But at least he does have like some experience already. And yeah, the person that they plan on hiring is going to be a programmer to help optimize the game and then port it to other platforms. Currently, the plan is PC and Mac. Then the other person on the team has a bit more experience working in games, and his name is James Primate. He's done the music for several games, and that's what we'll be doing on this game as well. Probably the one that I've seen the most of is No Moria. It's on Steam right now. It's an early access game. But if you go to his website as well, you can see like he's done, I think like probably at least 10 games. And the music's pretty cool. It's all like chiptune stuff. And he also plans on kind of doing the business side of the project as well. And this ends on February 13th, so there's still 24 days to go. And they've already passed their goal, which was a pretty small goal of 25,000, but they're at 33,650 right now. The actual game is it's a 2D platformer survival game. So the survival aspects of it are it's open-ended sandbox, there's limited resources, and also going along with the name, there's sort of like this impending doom of like you never know when it's going to rain, and apparently you don't want to be around when it's raining. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm guessing you'll die. You are this little cat slug, they call it. It's basically looks like a squirrel, but a squirrel that would
It's
eat
adorable.
stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cute. And even on their Kickstarter page, they're like, let's face it, you're here because of how cute the little cat slug thing is. But anyways, it's kind of cool because you're in the middle of the food chain. It's sort of, this whole game takes place in like a closed ecosystem, and you eat, from what the videos show, mainly little bugs, little flying bugs that you can catch. Except then there's also predators that want to eat you. And from the videos so far that I've seen, they look like they're these lizard creatures with purple heads. You can actually, so you kind of want to hunt the bugs, and you can do that by like jumping around and climbing and then pouncing. There's also a lot of like stealth in the game, which obviously comes into play for hunting, but also when you're trying to hide from predators. If you are unable to hide from the predators, there's also some footage of like combat going on. So it looks like there's like little sticks and spears that you can pick up and throw at the predators when they try to attack you. And that looks pretty fun too. It's just kind of throwing those spears. They mentioned that it's going to have really nimble controls. There's jumping, climbing, pouncing, throwing. The movement looks really great. If you've seen like the animations, they said that the animations are based off of momentum and like physics programming to help, kind of gives it that really good flow. They say this will not be an easy game, but a good thing when I was reading that, they said that it's definitely, it's not going to be easy, but that's not going to be due to the controls. They want to make sure that the controls are tight, feel good. Definitely in a platforming type of game where you're jumping around a lot, you want to make sure those controls feel good and aren't like, don't get annoying. You don't want you don't want to blame the game's controls for why you're dying. It should be like, oh yeah, I should have done this. So yeah, they definitely want to make it where it's definitely going to take a lot of skill to be good at this game. A bonus is that there is going to be co-op and competitive like deathmatch modes as well. Whether that's going to be local only or online, I'm not sure yet. I sent them a question about that on Kickstarter, but have not heard back yet. The game kind of reminds me of another Kickstarter game called Hyper Light Drifter. I backed this game. It looks pretty cool. If you don't know what it is, I definitely recommend looking up Hyper Light Drifter. The aesthetic of it, it's pixel art. The pitch video is very tone heavy, and both pitch videos are just the game. You don't get to like hear anything from you don't get to hear anything from the developers, and they just kind of focus on the game only. But they have quite a bit to show for the game, and they kind of show you the essence of the game. As well, I was also thinking that it kind of seemed similar to a lot of these games that I've been noticing recently. Nidhogg, Towerfall, Samurai Gun. They're sort of like these 2D pixel art games that are all about local competitive fighting. And I don't know, it kind of seems like a trend. Like those three games all came out relatively recently. And they've all done pretty well too. So yeah, that is Project Rain World.
Cool. Well, Thanks for that quick explanation of the game. I just want to say a couple of things because when I was checking the projects on Kickstarter, I saw that one, and I immediately knew that you were gonna, pick it. I knew it because I don't know if you guys, but it reminded me a lot of Super Meat Boy in some aspects.
It did for me too.
Yeah, exactly. Even the art style is a little bit, similar. Meat Boy is more colorful and all that, but kind of, takes you there somehow. One of the things I really like about those type of games is the tight controls. That, as you mentioned, if you die, it's because it's your fault, not because the controller it's crappy. So if they go that route, I'm sure they're gonna do well, and the game is gonna be fun. But on the art style, I think they could still polish it a little bit more, or maybe that's what they're going for. But it's still not my. I'm not super happy about the way it looks, the game right now. But that's just me, of course.
Is it like you? To me, it's sort of like this grungy but beautiful look to it. What don't you like about it? The pixel art, or just?
I don't know if it's the color scheme they're using. Obviously, they try to, make the character pop.
Mm-hmm.
And since the character is white, everything kind of has to be dark or very, But I would like to see more color. I mean, the animations on the cat, on this, it's like an animated image. They look pretty cool, and the level design looks pretty interesting as well. But I think they could go a little bit more colorful. Just, I imagine if I'm playing this for, I don't know, a couple of levels, I want to see like some change or kind of have some progression. I don't know, feel of progression. And if every level looks very similar, I'm going to get tired of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that they probably will have pretty diverse places, but I think that my guess is that they'll all be in this sort of same urban, kind of worn down urban.
Humans destroyed the planet, and look at those poor creatures.
Yeah. That's basically, yeah, I'm thinking like the rain is probably like acid rain, and that's why you gotta avoid it.
This seems to me like the kind of game that we would all play sitting in the same room together, fighting over who gets to play next. We'd have beer, there'd be pizza, and...
Well, now if we play cooperatively, we can both play.
Okay, all right. But it seems like it just seems like it'd be a blast to sit down and play with friends. I don't know how much of this gameplay that I would see myself playing by myself, but I kind of I see what Remi's saying as far as the art style is concerned, and the gameplay, if the environments that you're in don't really change, hopefully the music helps kind of shake things up too. I'm sure it's in the same genre. Once again, the 16-bit, this 8-bit gameplay. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be level based. Like, if you think of how it's fun to play Super Meat Boy and pass the controller around. I don't think this game's level-based, though. I think it's kind of, because they mentioned it's an open world, but kind of like a closed ecosystem. So I'm not sure, like...
So this is like the Muskrat version of Super Metroid?
Maybe. It definitely seems like kind of a... I don't know, I think I'll like this game. I remember last week we were talking about why I'm not a huge fan of survival horror. And I think a lot of it has to do with, in survival horror games, you're very limited in how you can move. And I love to be able to like have a lot of control of my character in a game. So I think this might be a really good fit for me.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Looks really cool. I just can't get over how cute that cat-slug ghost thing.
Its little tail just wiggles
nice.
all over.
Yeah, he just kind of squirms and wiggles, and he's very acrobatic. I'm not a huge platforming guy, so something like this doesn't quite scratch the itch, I suppose. But the combat aspects of it do look really interesting. And as you said, Justin, there's a whole bunch of these games out or coming out. Nidhogg is another one that goes for that really old school look. Looks much more old school than this, actually, and they have that sort of like 2D plane and fluid animations, and you just duke it out, and the combat system's supposed to be very deep, actually. And going back, back to the early 90s, I was a big fan of the first two Prince of Persia games, so those sort of games that have some platforming but encourage exploration and have just enough combat to kind of keep you on your toes, and have really good fluid animations. I think they're totally going for that audience. And yeah, I just want to look at their stats here again. They are funded already.
Yes, they are.
So,
and they actually don't talk about stretch goals. Sorry if I interrupted.
No worries. Yeah, well, I don't know. Wish them luck. It should be a good game. And 24 more days ago, I may just get in there myself and give them.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely put in $10 to this. Maybe the 25, but probably just 10. I'm curious to see. They have like a little video at the bottom of just showing like little slug cat pups. And so apparently you can, like kind of almost raise a little family in this game, and then I'm sure that kind of raises the stakes because now you got to go hunt for the little ones. Should be
so do they follow you if you have pups, or do you have to just keep going back and forth? And
it looked like you kind of have to pick them up to help them around, but that they do kind of follow you a bit. I'm not sure. There's not too much information on that.
It would seem to turn it into a completely different game at that point. Maybe not, though. Anyway, it looks cool.
You can check out their portfolio websites under Who Are We on their Kickstarter page. I definitely recommend it. They've got pretty cool portfolio websites. I'm jealous.
Cool, and we got one more for everybody. Who's taking Demon Core?
Yeah, so we go from wiggling, squirmy cat slugs to machine guns.
Slugs.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well done, Justin. Well done. So, yeah, I have another Indiegogo project for everyone. As we mentioned, it's called Demon Core. It is a first-person shooter, and it's looking for 180,000 buckaroos. They've made $819, which it's going kind of slow. They have 28 days left. And what to say about this? Looks all right. If I play the video on their page here, I wonder if we could maybe get a taste of kind of gameplay they're going for here. The game actually looks quite detailed. It's stuck somewhere in between something that's kind of a low res, like a Daisy, or I don't know if Daisy's low res exactly. It's built on a good engine, but something like maybe 7 Days to Die, where it looks a little chunky. Maybe one gen behind the times, and of course, the AAA big budget Call of Duty's Battlefields, Crisis is in that in between sort of point, and it makes it look sort of dated, but also looks nice at some points. I think they just got to fix the lighting and all that sort of stuff. What they're really pushing in this game is completely single player, and they're really just going for a story focus, and they haven't really gone into details on really how they're gonna push that properly. To me, the design looks very old school, where you're not going in a straight line to give them credit. You're actually exploring an environment, and you're trying to figure out what's happening in the story here. And they have elements of stealth. As you can see here, the guy is hiding among some dead bodies, so the guards passing by do not see him. And they're pushing advanced AI, so the AI is going to use squad tactics. So let me just scroll down this here page. So you can see a not bad looking game, and something that's focused on single player is rather refreshing in a time where every shooter is just going for multiplayer. 64 players, 32 players. So yeah, they chain of command, so squad tactics. They say you're gonna be able to see like the dynamics of the AI. You can see who's in charge of a squad, and maybe you want to take out the commanding officer first, and maybe the lower level grunts will be will panic or will scatter or something. That might be a cool effect. And you can lay down traps. And all these things that they're pushing sound really good on paper. I'm just afraid that all it takes is AI that isn't up to snuff for all these interconnected features to fall flat in their face, right? And when you're talking about a game primarily about shooting, the primary function is always going to be like the how do you say it, like the path of least resistance, right? So I'm thinking if you burst into a room, you just start firing at guys, how are you going to actually see this advanced AI? How are you actually going to see this chain of command? Is stealth really going to be necessary? It's giving you all these options, but at the end of the day, if firing your gun is like the best way to interact with things, all that stuff is going to be like, fluff. And it's, kind of brings us back to a game like Half-Life and Half-Life 2, where it's almost a minor miracle that they could convey things like squad tactics in those games, and level design plays into that, mission design, all these sort of things have to go right for these things to feel good in a first-person shooter. And one last thing I think they're trying to push in their stretch goals is implementing Oculus Rift. So yeah, the project is pretty ambitious, which would explain why they're asking for $180,000. And yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this here game?
It's GoldenEye. I totally thought of GoldenEye when I saw it.
It does have that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah. You see the guy carrying around a Soviet gun, and then I think it was mainly because it looked like it was all hip fire. I never saw like a iron sights or whatever.
They do have aim down sights.
They do. Game. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like everything was from the hip from there. But yeah, I think it was also that, and just like the environments, like they showed a lot of like tech labby places that reminded me of facilities in GoldenEye.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the guys working on this game were heavily influenced by GoldenEye or played it as youngsters. If I could just even bring some screenshots back into play here, you can kind of see the vibe that they have. Yeah, here.
A lot of caution tape stuff.
Metal. Yeah, a lot of underground tunnel facilities. It's like you're in someone's secret base. Yeah, this sort of stuff. And yeah, the video stopped playing. So yeah, I mean it's tough to make a shooter these days. You gotta go all the way and spend $50 million, or you've got to do something really quirky and off the beaten path. Like, I mean, last year there was that. Well, every year now they have that game jam for first-person shooters. I forget the name of it, but they had that one called Revolver, I think, where they really go into the minutia of operating a handgun. And so that was really interesting. I never tried it myself, but I watched enough gameplay videos to see that actually trying to do something really different with the standard first-person shooter. And if you're gonna try and reach towards the lofty ambitions of a Half-Life, yeah, I mean, more power to you, but yeah, it's tough. And it seems like a lot of people out there are not really buying into this just yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm kind of surprised I guess $20 doesn't seem like it's a lot, for what they're trying to accomplish and what these goals are. I don't know. I feel like it could be a little less as a starting price, like $15.
Yeah, hell, it's even 10.
Yeah. The art's great. I mean, they spent a lot of time on it. You can tell.
I'm worried about that. Well, you mentioned that they're focusing on single player mission only, right?
Yeah.
Like I love single player games, obviously. but a lot of people just they're already expecting multiplayer in every game, especially shooters. So I wonder if this will impact in the the final result on their pledge. I don't care if it doesn't have multiplayer because it's not my type of game really. But a lot of players, I'm sure they would be a little bit disappointed if they don't implement a little bit of multiplayer, like 1 or 2 areas or something like that. I don't know if you guys see where I'm going with this.
I'm guessing that they're trying to focus on the people who used to play shooters, like Doom and stuff like that. There kind of have been some resurrection in a single-player only shooter. You can look at Wolfenstein, for example. That's only going to be single-player. Trying to think of, there's like that Shadow Warrior, I think. That is on Steam, and I believe that's only single-player. Very like old-school arcadey type of shooter. So I think that they are trying to go for that market and this kind of a little, this indie trend of making these old school first person shooter games. But yeah, we'll see if they can really make it. I am a little skeptical just because of how little they have so far. But there are some interesting things. Like feigning death, you can act like you're dying. That was cool. Or try and blend in, like using they mentioned on their Kickstarter page like a gas mask to try and hide your identity. So there could be some cool stuff. But I think it really depends on how good the story is.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
so. I mean, they're pushing the story as like a big selling feature, so...
And you play a female scientist, right?
Oh, I think so. See, I don't even know who the protagonist is.
I'm pretty sure under blending in, it's like you could wear a gas mask to hide your gender, and make it look like you're one of the bad guy military dudes. Because it says you are playing a female scientist, remember?
Apparently not.
Yeah. I don't know if they mentioned that at all in the video. I don't know if I caught that in the video. Maybe I just read it.
I saw a lot more shooting in the video, but
Yeah.
It would be cool if they just went more towards the stealth side of gameplay and kind of explore that more, because there are a lot of stealth games out there right now, but no one's really pushing the limits, of stealth at this point. I mean, we have Dishonored and recent memory and some other games, but it'd be good to see people try a different thing with stealth, where it's not just hiding in shadows, or doing like the Assassin's Creed thing, where you're just trying to blend into a pack of people by shoving them out of the way.
Dishonored, there's another example of a single player only.
Yeah. I
Also
admire their
BioShock.
restraint. They're not gonna just slam in multiplayer just because they should or can. They're just gonna focus on their specialty, and hopefully it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's Demon Core, and seems like we could be wrapping up just about now. What do you guys think?
Sounds
yeah,
good.
we kind of had. Oh, sorry, whoever I was interrupting.
Just Justin.
Just Justin? Okay, well he
I
can
did
just
the same.
shut it. No, it seems like we've kind of had our own little speed round. We all kind of talked. We did a couple more projects than we normally do, so it's kind of cool to get to shake things up every once in a while.
Yeah, we can
Do we
say.
still have time, or that's pretty much it?
I think so. If we can talk about 5 projects per episode, seems like a good number. Got
Yeah, I
5
think it was
fingers.
pretty good.
5
We
projects.
can even leave some of these speed round ones if we have time next time.
Yeah.
And maybe, hopefully, we can have a special guest next week.
A special guest.
Yeah, special guest.
Justin's
So I
mother.
guess to kind of sum us up, what are you guys playing right now? What are you guys spending your time playing? Your precious gaming time.
Well,
Remi?
who wants to go first? Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, this week I haven't had time to play a lot of games. I've been playing, what's the name of this one? Beyond Two Souls. It's pretty good so far. And I've also been playing this mobile game, which is pretty good. It's called The Room 2 for iOS and
Oh yeah, I heard a lot about that.
Yeah, it's
I hear it's
I played the
excellent,
first
along
one.
with the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was pretty good, and I was very excited when I heard about the second one, because you feel like, I don't know, kind of Indiana Jones, when he's like playing with those artifacts to try to find something interesting. So the graphics in this game, they're pretty good for a mobile game, especially. So I enjoyed it a lot. Other than that, I started playing Silent Hill 3 again, the old one. And that's
Nice.
it. That's it for this week.
Cool.
Clint, what about you, man?
Oh, me? I'm up. Me, I have been playing. Well, I got into the closed beta for a little something here. I don't know if I can show you.
I think I know what it is. Especially when it says Battle.net.
Wow, it's really downloading stuff. Anyway, yeah, Hearthstone is the game. This is Blizzard's entry into the digital collectible card game market, and it's been out on closed beta for probably the better part of last year, and I think they're ramping up for open beta release. They sent a whole bunch more invites in the past couple weeks, and I finally got one. I've been waiting for it for like 10 months now, and it's awesome. It's I don't know. You talk to someone who's played a lot of Magic, I can tell you that's really dumbed down and simplified. But then if you don't talk to those people, or you talk to people who are like a little bit more open-minded, they'll tell you that the game is just fun. I mean, it's typical kind of Blizzard polish on everything. They've really done their homework on what works for these sort of games, and they kind of stripped it down to its bare essentials. And you're not going to be worried about like phases of a turn or who does what or reading a load of card text. Everything is just very intuitive, and it just flows and looks great, plays great, and right now I cannot stop playing that. So you guys should check it out.
And you can click on the environments to do little things.
Yeah, just little touches.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like little things on the board game. It's like, it's like you're playing on this board. There's little things on the corners that you can kind of interact with when you're bored and you're waiting for the other player to go.
It really
Nice
is
little
cute
touches.
and charming.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you'll be playing on a board that's modeled after a village, and then there'll be a house with like a bunch of logs for like a campfire, but there's no fire. But you can keep clicking on the logs, and you'll start a fire. Or there'll be a catapult next to a castle, and you just load up a rock into the catapult, and then you can shoot it. It does nothing. It's all just like cosmetic.
For
But
sure.
as you're waiting for your turn, it's a good way to just stay active.
Blizzard knows we like to click things.
Hearthstone. There we go. And yeah, so it's me. How about you, Jared? What have you been playing?
I don't know if you want to admit it or not, but Justin and I have been playing, and my wife, Lord of the Rings: War in the North. It was an old Humble Bundle game. It was kind of loosely based off of those older GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation era Lord of the Rings games when the original movies came out. So it's third-person action RPG type gameplay. It's a Humble Bundle game. I mean, I don't know if I would have paid the $30+ that they're asking for. The entire experience has been nothing but bugs. We can't go 1 hour without one of us, and it's usually me, dropping out of the game completely. But that makes us want to love the game more. So.
Yeah, the combat, it's It's all right. Like playing, it's pretty fun. It gets a little bit samey because it's just you're going down these. Basically, you're going down a path. Group of enemies fight them. Keep on going down the path. Another group of enemies fight them. But you are leveling up, collecting things, unlocking new abilities, and experimenting with those. And there's little secret areas here and there. So those are the good things. But yeah, there was one point where basically we're inside this mine, and there's just waves and waves of enemies pouring on us. And there's 3 of us. It's a 3-player game, but they decide to just have 2 like giant crossbows that just deal crazy amounts of damage. It's like a 1-hit kill. Maybe like taking down a troll takes 3 hits, but they're explosive giant crossbows. And so like me and Jared are on them. Meanwhile, Jared's wife she can't do much. She's just like spamming her wizard, like shooting power.
Magic missile.
Lame when one player gets left out like that, and then it gets like, and then anyways, we get to the end of the level, which like Jared and I like we're expecting to see like, okay, we got like huge amount of points compared to Brenna, except guess what? It's just a black screen, and we can still hear like orcs and enemies and like arrows whizzing by our ears, but we're just looking at a black screen, and then about 10 seconds or 20 seconds go by, and we're all like, what's going on? Like, please don't crash, please don't crash. We don't want to have to do this again. And then finally, all of a sudden, we're at a totally different location. We're with some dwarves, and they're like, hey, glad you could make it here. And apparently we flew there with the eagle, and it just like completely, we missed like one cutscene, and it just totally threw us to this whole other environment.
Weird. I hear there's a scene in the latest Hobbit movie just like that, exactly like that. So, weird coincidence.
Yeah. It just cuts all of a sudden when it's supposed to fight. What happens?
Eagles.
But it's
yeah,
fun.
someone calls them eagles and flies you off somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, this game looks like some good dumb fun. I remember it came out a couple years ago. It came out a week apart from Skyrim or something, and I was just like, no, you guys are gonna get destroyed. And sure enough, yeah, I don't think they did too well with this one. But yeah, it looks fun. I remember watching the trailers for it. I love these sort of hack and slash games. Looks like an updated Golden Axe or something. So yeah, have you guys finished it yet?
No, I think we're pretty close. We're on the border. I think we've probably got maybe a 3 or 4 hour session left when it's over.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thankfully.
You guys keep going back to it despite all the crashing and black screens. So it says something about the game, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
We better let Justin give his piece.
Okay, 1
he's
minute.
Playing something.
1 minute. I'll go fast. Banner Saga. Just started playing that today. This was a game on Kickstarter. Totally blew away what they were asking for. I think they were asking for 100,000, got 700,000. I remember thinking about getting in on that, ended up not. But then while I was listening to an interview with one of the developers, they're talking about it, and it was like the countdown for the pre-order sale bonus was counting down, and then I got it within like the last 2 minutes, and I'm pretty happy about that game. It's a good turn-based strategy game wrapped within like this RPG setting with a lot of dialogue with choices you can make that will affect, it's got a branching story. And then there's also a bit of Oregon Trail because you're doing a lot of traveling. And as you travel, you have to collect resources, and then how you divide those resources can make some changes. You have to make some tough decisions sometimes of how much do I give to my actual like fighters compared to just all the people that are traveling with us. So that's kind of cool. And then I've also been playing some of this. I ended up getting a Wii U.
The prophecy came
You can
true.
laugh at me. You can laugh at me now. I think as for someone who plays mainly on PC like I do, the Wii U was a good choice. It just complements the PC because it's got a great, it's got the best first-party titles, in my opinion, and it's really good for local party games, which a PC usually isn't the best at that. So yeah, I think that they kind of complement each other, and I totally missed the Wii. I didn't buy one, and I barely played any Wii games, so now I can actually go back and play like Mario Galaxies, the Zelda games I missed on that, and right now I've been playing the new Super Mario 3D World, and I just started Wind Waker, which came bundled with this one for $2.99.
Oh, it even has some weird...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I see that. Look at that!
Little graphics.
Fancy.
The sad thing about my Wii U is that the game that I'm playing is not even from Wii U. I'm playing Skyward Sword on it. Because I don't have anything good on it yet. Sad. I'm still waiting for the good Zelda. Hopefully.
Wind Waker is a good Zelda.
I mean a
That's in
good
this podcast
Zelda.
now. It ends now.
No, I'm one of those that didn't like Wind Waker.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's good. I love that one. It's timeless. Timeless art style.
Cool. And to wrap up, anybody can get us on our Twitter account. All two of our posts.
Also,
We'll try to get more
eventually
It's early
we'll
days.
eventually have artwork on these. I'm working on what sort of style we want, and I've got a template because YouTube has a crazy amount of like different dimensions for its banner ad due to all the different sizes and screens it can go on.
And currently we have 12 likes. And
Yes.
we're gonna get more likes. We will.
I don't know if I like that yet.
You probably
Chivas.
should
We
get on
just
that, Justin.
started.
So yeah, we're also on Facebook, as you might expect.
You can hate us on Facebook.
Facebook.com/StretchGoalCast. So you can come on by and just watch us post cat videos, and no, not so much cat videos, but get the links to the latest shows and previous shows. And yeah, just chill out and just tell us how much we stink, or just tell us how awesome we're doing. And give us your feedback, of course. Just let us know about your own project that you're working on, if you would like us to feature on the show, or if you just want to pass along some info on a game that you think is worth talking about, either on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Steam, what have you. So we'd always love to hear from our listeners.
Or
And
you can always
be
send us
among.
email as well.
Oh, sorry. Yes, or send us an email.
Because we have a lot of emails last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
Yeah. But we still read them all.
One by one. And if you'd like to be on the show, you should email and contact us. Maybe we'll try to do a guest show where we can get people from the community that want to talk about a game that they're personally passionate about. That'd be fun.
That
Special
could
guest.
become indecent quickly.
Well, they can be kicked out. That's the glory. We can just say goodbye to them.
Unless our ratings go up. We'll
Oh yeah, then the show's gonna totally change now.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
I guess that's it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Or,
And we'll see everybody probably next week, Sunday or Monday, something like that.
sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, thank you.
See ya. Bye.